And we're live. Awesome. Welcome back, ladies and gents. We're doing another Friday night live stream, hanging out. Is this my first one back? No, this is my first one back since I got back. But I mean, time's been flying. It's crazy. I hope everyone's brought themselves a nice wobbly pop. I'm having mine. I hope you got yours, and I'm chilling. It's nice weather outside, so I got the Hawaiian shirts on. I'm doing this. This is gonna be a lot of fun. Hey, why don't you come on in here, chat? Welcome to the show. Let's get to this. Ladies and gents. Now let's get into some of this stuff I wanted to talk about. One of the very first things that comes to mind is, well, memes, these kinds of memes. And why don't we get into this? Because this is what's actually happening on the ground. You're not going to hear this on the CBC. You're not going to hear this on CTV News. And you're not going to hear this on American news because I'm going to fill you on a little secret. Americans don't even care. They don't even care about this whole situation, the whole scenario, what's going on, what Canada is up to, what Canada's been doing, how Canada is trying to become the leader of the middle power. It's like nobody cares about any of that stuff. So what everybody cares about is doing well themselves, and they're concerned about what's going on in their own lives, in their own states, and all of that stuff. And well, guess what? The economy is doing good everywhere else except for Canada, and America is, Americans are feeling their own burn. Prices are rising across America, especially when it comes to fuel at the moment, but we'll see where that goes. We'll absolutely see where that goes. Pop a top. Yeah, absolutely. Cheers, everybody. Get into it, because that's exactly what we're gonna do. And you know what? I've been telling people on Twitter. I've been telling people on YouTube and Facebook and X, wherever you can post stuff. I've been telling everybody about what's going on now in Canada. And this is the thing: Americans typically just don't know what's happening. Now, as you know, I'll be moving to the States pretty soon, and the whole idea of this is, yes, I'm still going to be talking about Canadian things. I'll also be talking about American things, but I really want to stress this, and I want to push this message out there to everybody, especially Americans. Look at what happened to Canada. It can happen in America too. And this is really important to spread this message, because there's a lot of people out there. I mean, just look at Canada. Canada looks at the whole situation. I hear it every day by so many people that reply to my posts warning people of what's happening. And they say, it's not that bad. Canada, we went through this in the 80s. It's not the same. It's not the same as what's happening. No, this is crazy what's going down. And people are just oblivious to the fact of all of this stuff. Now, what's happening in overseas, because world leaders are all overseas now, checking out things and doing their thing. Mark Carney is doubling down, says Kirk Lubermoff on his statement that next world order will be built out of Europe. I believe the next world order will likely be built out of Europe, and Canada will be part of the effort. As he said in Davos, we're going to be the leaders of the middle powers. BS, you're doubling down. I mean, it wasn't very long ago he was in the United States talking about making America great again. That's right. Mark Carney is a big MAGA guy, apparently. But let's have a listen to what he had to say here.
A few weeks ago at the European political community in Yerevan, I was honored to attend, and I said at that meeting that I believe that the next world order will likely be built out of Europe, and Canada will be part of that effort. In security, as the first non-European member to join SAFE.
That's hilarious, Havel. Yeah, somebody tried that around 1939 to make the leader of the middle powers and one big world order. Yeah, no, we remember that. We absolutely remember that.
As the president mentioned, under his leadership, Canada is a key member of the coalition of willing to support Ukraine in critical minerals.
By the way, Ukraine is not in a recession right now, and Canada is. Consider that. Think about that. How many of your tax dollars have gone over to Ukraine, and Ukraine is not currently in recession? That's right. Canada, the only country in the G20 to be in a recession right now. That's just insane. Yeah, that's right. Mr. Funny Mustache Man, little clinkety clank mustache dude. That's the guy. That's the guy.
Working with Minister Lescure as a reliable supplier to our core European partners, working with our European partners to expand our collective strategic capabilities from energy to hardware, intelligence infrastructure, and space. Working to
Space. Did you see the spaceport? Oh my goodness. What was that? Canada spaceport. Let's get this up here. I'm sure it'll come up. Canada spaceport. Launching pad. This was just like, you can't make this up, folks. Melissa, top tweet says, and this was our $200 million launch pad in Canada. That's right. That cost the taxpayers $200 million. That's it. Spaceport, you mean a parking lot? Yeah, that's right. Gravel, mind you, and just like with one concrete pad in the middle of it. It's unbelievable. This is what they're doing with our money. Now, who's doing what with what money? Let's have a look. Mark Carney. Mark Carney, he is making America great again, because he did run that slogan recently. But he says, well, I put this out on Twitter. Put your money where your mouth is, as they say. Well, the Prime Minister of Canada talks smack about the U.S. in Canada and now in Europe, and previously in Europe. Approximately 90 to 91% of Mark Carney's disclosed investment portfolio is in the United States, assets and companies. That's right. The guy who thinks that America's going down, or says publicly that America's going down and Canada's just around we're going to be the leader of the middle powers. That's what we're going to do. No, losing out. But guess who else is making it rich in America? Well, that's Elon Musk, the first trillionaire ever. This just happened. So breaking, Elon Musk has become the world's first trillionaire after SpaceX raised a record $75 billion in its IPO. Musk's net worth shot up to 1.1 trillion when the stock hit. When it hit. So I wrote, congratulations to Elon Musk. Your first good move was getting the heck out of Canada. The American dream is alive. And, well, absolutely is. But let's hear what else Mark Carney had to say. He's over in Europe right now, just, oh, man, shooting his mouth off. Mark Nixon says, doesn't want to appear weak. Don't want to appear weak. Not at all. On a world stage, though, seriously, I tweeted this one out. I said, if Canada was a hotel, if the world was a hotel, Canada would be the chair in the corner. You don't want to appear weak, but man, just the showing out there is, yeah, we all know exactly. Yeah, exactly. Congratulations, Musk. Big time. And this is the, excuse me. This is the difference in mentality between people who are into market economies and all the socialists. You hear a lot of this. All that money, it should be confiscated and redistributed. Well, why do you think he's doing this in America? And why do you think all these billionaires come out of America? It's because they're not insane. Well, in some places they are insane. Yeah, New York just went insane. They brought in Mom Tommy. We could get into that. Anyway, Mark Nixon says Mark Carney doesn't want to appear weak. Instead, that's exactly how he looks. Why even allow questions if he's not going to answer the thing anyways? Confidence in Liberals delivering a good deal for Canada is near zero.
Bridge.
Yes.
Yesterday you were talking about being technical issues and no big drama. But there was the Michigan Republican House leader yesterday quoted saying he wants to see a 50-50 split of the toll revenue from the beginning, right, before Canada's paid back for its costs. It sounds more like a shakedown than a technical issue.
Does that sound like a shakedown?
How do you characterize that? And is that something that is on the table?
Well,
before you get into that, just shakedown. What the heck are you saying? Of course, it's a Canadian news network that's asking the question, but listen, it's the United States of America. It's their border too. You can't just make a bridge and then just go, it's all mine. Everything, all the benefits go to me. All this commerce is going to come into Canada and benefit Canadians. And I'm sure there's some benefit to some people in Michigan, but like, it is an international border. There should be a benefit to the United States of America. Give me a freaking break here. This is again why I keep saying, like, Donald Trump, when he says things like Canada should be a state, what he's actually saying is, you listen, all of these benefits that Canada gets are the benefits that the states have for being part of the American Union, the United States of America. And what do states have to pay? Well, everyone in those states have to pay federal income taxes. They have to pay. It's a thing. But Canadians are off the hook. They get unfettered access to the largest economy in the planet that people are scrambling from all over the world to get access to. And Americans or Canadians just get it because what? You just happen to have proximity to the country and no other virtue. In fact, not even fairly trading amongst Americans by putting trade restrictions and barriers to entry and all kinds of things that don't even benefit the Canadian consumer. Let me just get this straight out to you. And this is the thing. I'm absolutely sticking up for the Canadian people on this one. It's the government with government-run monopolies and also crony capitalism that runs out of governments by this guy and liberals writ large. And even the conservatives support this stuff, with the dairy lobby and whatnot, unanimously voting to make it so they can't even negotiate the dairy lobby. It's unfreaking believable. So, yeah, if Donald Trump got his way and American companies were allowed to go into Canada and have commerce, what would the effect of that be? Well, a lot of Canadian companies that enjoy a monopoly would probably lose market share. But what else would happen? Prices would drop immediately. It's unbelievable. Let me just tell you something before we go on with this. You all have to buy internet service. Everybody has to buy utilities and all these things. Well, I'm hooking up my utilities at my new place down in the United States, and I'm like, okay, how much is the internet going to end up costing me? Now, I'm setting up really, really fast internet. So the fastest that you can get. That in my town in Canada, it depends on what part of town you're in. It's even available for you. Fiber optic internet, right? So I've had that service before at a previous place. 1,000 megabytes upload and download, that kind of service. It's great. It's paramount for doing this kind of stuff, streaming and whatnot. So I can provide for you guys. In Canada, ballpark $150, $160 for that service. Guess what I was quoted as? $40. $40 for the same service. This is something that Canadians could enjoy, but the government is stepping in the way, and this is what the whole stall is with all of the negotiations. The Canadian government will not let up on monopolies. They will not let up on trade barriers and restrictions for American companies or other countries' companies coming into Canada, and they're running trade protection rackets in the country, to the detriment of the consumer, to the detriment of the person who's buying this stuff. And especially when we're in a recession, do you think that, a little bit of reprieve would be perhaps to disband these monopolies and allow American companies to come in and provide these services to Canadians? That would be absolutely paramount. It would be great, but that's not what's happening. And you're being lied to, folks. You're being lied to. You're being told that this is important for Canada to have Canadian unique identity so that we can charge you 3 times market value for any service to your home. It's unreal. It's really unreal. Oh, yeah, exactly. Govern me harder, Daddy, please. It's unreal. I can't believe Canadians, they totally get hooked right into this. What do we got here? Sheridan Forbes says T-Mobile phone bill, $52 phone bill when Canada is over $100. Right? I mean, it's just, holy cow, it's a no-brainer. But this is what's happening. Canadians will be the last winners. Yeah, absolutely. The last winners. That's the losers. Yeah, that's the losers. Currently, when it comes to economies, that's where Canada is too. Ugh, hope you guys got a cold one going yourselves over there, wherever it is that you are. Put it in the chat, folks. I just love to hear from you guys. Where are you watching from? This is important because, you know, I gotta see this. Patriot Mobile is $40 a month. Love it. Love it. I've heard of Patriot Mobile. That's great. Do you still talk to Frank? Frank went on a tangent and he actually told me, hey, listen, just give me some time. I'm gonna blah. He's like, this was a few months ago. I'd love to talk with Frank. Absolutely. I'd talk with Frank. I'm gonna text Frank and just say I hope we're good. I don't think there's bad blood at all with Frank. At all. But you just reminded me. Now I want to text him right away. I hope you're good, brother. Sent out to Frank. Frank is the man. Frank is the man. We disagree on the whole Iran thing, but no. He's what a great guy. He's a fantastic guy. Where are we? Watching from Florida. Clyde, hey, welcome to the show. Are you Canadian living in Florida, or are you just Floridian? Love to hear it. I'm soon to be a Texan. Hope, British Columbia. Frank's in another realm. Yeah, so I hear, and he went on about that. I tend to want to talk more about politics and economies and stuff. And that's fine. But, you know, Frank and I would disagree on the Iran thing. I don't even know if we still disagree on the Iran. I have no idea. So, yes, bring Frank on. If Frank ever wants to come on the show, he's always welcome. Absolutely always welcome. You know, I can disagree with my friends on stuff. It's never bad blood among friends with that kind of thing. Wisconsin, good to see you. My dad grew up in Wisconsin. Beautiful place. Tampa Bay, Florida. Awesome. Great to hear from you. Canada is effed. Yeah. Nick, is that Nick Ian? I think that's Nick Ian. Says, you want free trade, you got to open up the American market to Canadians too. Yeah. The American market has always been open to Canadians. Or is that Tool? But yeah, that's the thing. So the Canadian market has always been open to the Canadians. It was the Canadians that have created trade barriers, tariffs, the heavy use of tariffs for decades and decades. And the reason why is because Canada wants to have similar industries as the United States. Now, that would be fantastic if the economies weren't so integrated. You know, for Canada to say, well, we want a steel industry, and you have a steel industry. We want to supply you with all your steel. Well, America's like, well, we want to supply our own steel. And this is when NAFTA was really bad, because it basically gave the advantage to Canada for steel production over American steel producers, and a lot of them went bust. Now they're building back up because it's more of an advantage to American steel producers. Same with automotive manufacturing. Same with a number of other things. Lumber, and let's just be honest, lumber is easier to get in America, but there is some really, really high quality lumber in Canada. And I talk to people in the industry, and they say that, and they say the high quality lumber is in Canada, but the only thing stopping Canadians from getting it is the Canadian government. It's the Canadian government that's stopping the lumber industry. So America's happy to just get their own lumber. That's where it's at. Vancouver Island drinking Sapporo. Nice. That sounds great. Cal's awesome. If you want the American banks into Canada, you're going to have to open up the American market 100% to Canadians, including military contracts. these are the negotiations. Yeah, I'm absolutely up for that. That's great. Open it up. But the thing is, it's been closed so long on the Canadian side that Donald Trump jumped in. He said, "All right, well, we want reciprocal trade or nothing at all." And then the message went, Donald Trump's bringing in tariffs, and that's bad. So we're going to have reciprocal tariffs against America. But it's like, wow, you don't see that this is because of the trade restrictions Canada has always had. That's how crazy it is. They don't even mention it on the news because they don't want you to even think about that. That, well, you know, if Canada were to get rid of a lot of the trade restrictions and barriers to entry into the for the United States or any other country coming into Canada to compete with the Canadian market, then Canada would have to seriously retool. I mean, the reason why dairy farmers are so heavily protected in Quebec and Ontario is because if they weren't, they would go bust. And so instead of allowing them to go bust, we'll just allow everybody to pay way more for dairy products in Canada. Way more. The price of cheese is just absolutely astronomical. And you don't see foreign cheese very often. I mean, the only thing you really ever see in the grocery store that's foreign is Parmigiano Reggiano, and that's because the people in Parmigiano Reggiano, the people that make that cheese, they have very strong guards for their product, the product that they make. And they're extremely litigious, but they do this in a free market. They don't ban people from selling their cheese in that region of Italy. They're very protective of their product to make sure that anyone who tries to counterfeit it, they're very litigious. That's the one thing. Milk bonds. Yeah, that's it. Do you want free trade? You gotta open up the same as we do. Yeah. So, but that's the thing. So the other aspect to this is, you know, I've explained this before, the idea of, you know, the shopping mall. So somebody has a shopping mall and attracts everybody to come to that shopping mall. And then, you know, if you want to be a vendor and you want to sell your products in the shopping mall, you got to pay rent. You got to pay some sort of rent. And this is the thing. Donald Trump said, okay, well, here's the deal. Everyone's going to pay a tariff. We're going to negotiate with the countries to see how much of a tariff they pay on their items. But guess what? If you move your company to the United States of America, you're exempt from the tariff. You're totally out. You're scot-free. You're good in that case. Now, what did Canada do? They said, no, we don't want to pay tariff. And they're rocking up to the shopping mall with a trench coat and saying, "Hey, you want to buy watches?" And guess what? The shopping mall owner is going to say, "Get the heck out of here, buddy. You don't have a right to sell your items in here unless you're paying rent to the thing." It's a simple concept, and that's exactly what's happening. Clyde, Canada is anti-competition. No need to explain, brother. Yeah, no, it's absolutely the thing. But this is the thing. There's a lot of people out there that still don't get it. But yeah, I mean, it's what I do. I do on YouTube is I explain these things to people. Was this the example of the brain Carlson? Candace, I don't understand what's being said there. Canada's never had free trade with the U.S. If you did, you would have low prices. Yeah, absolutely. Excuse me. Yeah, absolutely. Would have low prices. The mall cop. That's right. That's the mall cop. But I mean, it's the analogy, right? The analogy is everyone's coming to the United States for the that's where the mall is. That's where people are consuming. It's the largest consumer market on the planet. And everybody wants their products in that market. And guess what? If you're not contributing to the overall wealth of the nation, you're just soaking off of it. So if you're not helping, if you're not allowing American companies to go into your country, and this goes across the board to everywhere. I mean, Vietnam recently opened up to the United States under negotiations with Trump. They agreed to pay, I think it's 19% tariff. It was 19 or 20% tariffs on all of their goods going into the United States. And they've opened up their market to a myriad of different items from the United States to sell in their marketplace, i.e., automotive, trade. There's lots of cars going in. There's all kinds of stuff. And if you think, oh, Vietnam, that's not even a big deal. We're Canada. We're a big country and we're very wealthy. Well, guess what? Not so much anymore. Vietnam is a country of 100 million people, and it is a growing, expanding country. Canada has a demographic of 40 million people that spread out in a thin line across a giant continent, has crazy regulations in the marketplace. It's complicated to get your products into the country, all of this stuff. So that it's not even an equal thing. Vietnam is actually a much more lucrative market than Canada anymore. And why is that? Should that be the case? No, it shouldn't be the case. It shouldn't be the case. Canada should be absolutely like a mini Saudi Arabia, because everyone should be getting dividends from the wealth that they're pulling out of the ground instead of paying taxes and having crazy debts. But no, they're not. It's not the way it's going. It's crazy. And it's the only country in the G20 that's currently in recession. Absolutely just sad. It's just sad. And to think people are just la 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 la. It's not happening. CBC told me otherwise. La la la. I can't believe it. Loretta Jones, I appreciate you, Clyde. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you. What is this? Western Manicuba. What, is that where you're watching from? No. Really? Can't be. Communist governments over in Cuba. Lamau, a foreign country, shouldn't be doing our government's contracts. What are you talking about? There are military contracts that are fulfilled by all kinds of countries. I mean, Canada makes armaments for the United States. That's a military contract. Yeah. Those are things. Where are we? True. We should be getting royalties and not taxes. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But is that how it's working? No. Heck no. That's just the mismanagement of a tremendous Canada has like so much potential and just screws it all up. It's unbelievable. And there are so many good people in Canada. It's just the loud ones are the idiots. The loud ones are the idiots. And there's this disproportional system for deciding elections and all of that jazz. So anyway, let's get back into what Mark Carney was saying, because man, it's just absurd to me. So go back to the question.
Back for its costs. It sounds more like a shakedown than a technical issue.
What was the
split of the toll revenue from the beginning, right before Canada's paid back for its costs? It sounds more like a shakedown than a technical issue.
It's a shakedown because the Americans want to benefit from this thing and not have the benefit all go one way. Wow.
How do you characterize that? And is that something that is on the table?
Well, the individual, I didn't see the comment from the individual, but your description of the individual would not be somebody who's in the U.S. administration by definition. So I'll leave it at that.
That the Canadian officials actually called off the opening of the Gordie Howe Bridge because they were worried about backlash from the Trump administration.
Not
I know
true.
Yesterday.
That's not true.
Yesterday you said it was due to technical issues. What are those technical issues?
Look, it's the discussion as
when people say "look," it usually is followed up by a bunch of BS. Or listen to me closely.
As I said yesterday, was at the request of the U.S. administration. We'll look to work through.
What do we got here? Sam Field, my brother. How you doing? Hey, brother. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much, man. It's good to see you in here. All the way from Nova Scotia. Are you in Nova Scotia right now, or are you in the West Coast? Be good to find out. man, it's been a minute since I've seen you in person. It was last summer. Last summer, I got to see you, Sam Field, out in Nova Scotia. My first time in Nova Scotia. That was awesome.
But issues they have, I don't think it's productive to work through those in public, and our teams are working through. I actually haven't been briefed on it today, the specifics of it. It's important we get this right. This is an asset for both countries and our people, most fundamentally, that's going to exist for decades. So if we need to take a few more weeks to get it right and get it launched, we'll do that. Off on us.
Yeah, avoiding the question. Absolutely avoiding the question. This was. I'd like to find out more information on this, because I think rumors were spread, even though the Americans were not ready to open it. I know, and there might be comments in there saying that, well, people in Detroit are ready. They're ready to open it. Yeah, I'm sure there are. Democrat-run city ready to open up the bridge for their own reasons, their own thing. But no, the U.S. doesn't want to give Canada a whole bunch of benefits, especially when they're not even at the negotiation table when it comes to what they should have been negotiating for the past 6 months about the USMCA coming up. And now, Trump's administration has been negotiating with Sheinbaum down in Mexico for months and just ignoring Canada. Like, you guys are a bunch of douchebags. Like, what are you doing? Especially Doug Ford. Holy cow, Doug Ford here. Let's have a look at this scene.
Hi, Premier. Alison Jones of the Canadian Press.
You
made some comments yesterday about the Gordie Howe Bridge. Sounds like you're a little skeptical that this opening might actually go ahead, and that you're hearing two stories. Can you expand at all on what those two differing stories are and who you're hearing them from?
I don't have 100% details, but I do know they're going to have some sort of ribbon cutting, I guess, on our side of the Gordie Howe Bridge. I also heard, like all of you did, that President Trump is making comments that it's not going to be open.
Hey, how
That's
are you?
detrimental for people in the U.S., detrimental for Canadians. We want goods to be flowing across our borders consistently. Our other bridge sees about $1 billion a day flow.
See, Doug Ford is sweating because it's him at the helm here. He wanted this. He caused all kinds of trouble, ran an election because of the whole Orange Man bad thing, fueled this trade war, made it way worse when everybody else was negotiating with Trump. They didn't like it at first, but they all just kind of got the idea, okay, tariffs are here to stay. That's it. Go, okay, that's fine. Whatever. Moving on. That's it. I love your shirt, Clyde. Thank you. Thank you. I love it too. I absolutely love it. There's a question here I didn't catch. The geriatric mafia that runs Canada will never allow for a real tangible change to raise Canadian standards of living. Carney is the front man, Clyde. Yeah, it's the Bradford Boomer was the front man. It was the lead in that campaign for Mark Carney. Unbelievable. But yeah, so Doug Ford, he ran his campaign. This is how ass backwards Canada is too. Ask Canada for my American brothers and sisters there. In Canada, if it looks like something is happening at the moment that could be politically advantageous for you, you can call an election as the government in power. You can call for an election to be had and then gain more power from that timing. It's ludicrous. It's ludicrous. And that's exactly what Doug Ford did when all that stuff started to wind up about, Orange Man bad and all that stuff. Ontarians are freaking out because the car industry and all that stuff. Doug Ford called an election, made it his campaign thing, and pissed the Americans off in the process, causing the problem to be actually worse instead of just being pragmatic about it. And there you go. Now he's in a pickle because there's not a lot of trade going over to Ontario, and it looks like they're going to lose the car industry. Something that Donald Trump said it's going to happen anyway. We don't need you to make cars. I'd rather them be made in Detroit. Why? Because there are, taxes, regulations, all kinds of things that go to the federal government. And Canada, if the manufacturing in Canada, America gets none of it. So why not just put a tariff on it? There you go. If Canada's not going to contribute to the federal government of the United States, well, this is how they can do that. And that's the plan there. That's what he was saying when he said they might as well be a state. Happy Jurassic June, says Yukon J. So this is a cool thing. A bunch of people have put together Jurassic June, where, June is all about dinosaurs. It's dinosaur month. We can have dinosaur month to talk about dinosaurs instead of all the pride stuff, because it's not very wholesome to do all the pride stuff. So thank you so much, Yukon J, for that, reminding everybody that it's Jurassic June. Oh, not Canada. It's OMFG Canada. Yeah, that's right. Oh, damn. Yeah, so Doug Ford knows how much trade is going over the thing, but he's the cause. He's the problem.
We'll cross that bridge. So let's hope President Trump has a change of heart on this, because it hurts his economy, and it'll hurt ours too.
It sounds like you're not planning on attending the ribbon cutting. I'm just wondering why.
Well, it's just basically a ribbon cutting. I'll be attending once we actually open the bridge and we're actually driving across. I can't wait to drive across that bridge. But yeah, I'm not going to be there until that happens, and hopefully it's going to happen sooner than later.
That is a funny joke. How big is Doug Ford's tanning bed? Oh, too good. What's this? Dinos and Men's Health Month. Pairing made in the Jurassic. A pairing made in the Jurassic. Yeah, awesome. Is that a thing? Men's Health Month? I thought that was Movember. Movember being like a mustache November. People would grow that for testicular cancer and men's health issue stuff. That was the thing. But Doug Ford, I mean, pulling some idiot moves. What is it? Doug Ford on about the alcohol. He had a recent interview about it. And are you going to commit to, yeah.
There's talk that there could be specific term retaliation because of that.
Oh, there's music in the background. I don't know if... Oh, we'll play it anyway. Okay, no, I can't play that because it's just going to get me the stream getting taken down because of that. Talking about Tennessee whiskey. Where does he say it? That has an IQ of a potato. When was this, though? February 10th. No. Most recent. Talking about alcohol. This is the one.
There's talk that there could be specific tariff retaliation because of that.
Yeah, well, I just want to get this deal done, and I can assure you once that deal's done, I'm going to be sitting down and bringing all the booze back on shelves in Ontario, and everyone's going to be kumbaya. It's going to be good.
Would you consider putting booze back on the shelves before the USMCA?
No. I just want to get this deal done, and then we'll put that booze back on the shelves. And
you're not going to get a deal without the booze.
Maybe we'll have a little drink or something in Ontario.
So you're not going to get the booze without, you're not going to get a deal without the booze. This is the thing. So America's looking at Canada and saying, you guys are pulling some BS stuff here. You're talking about all this, you talking about wanting to come to the table. You talk about wanting to communicate. And then what do? You don't make any concessions, like zero. It's booze. The booze, you're going to keep that going. It's just unfreaking believable. I thought I had a clip from Pete Hoekstra talking about it as well. Is this the clip? Possibly.
Forward to going through the negotiations on some of the issues that we're talking about. We're waiting for Canada to respond But once Canada clearly outlines its direction and what it wants from the negotiations, I think that we can do some great things together. I look forward to going through the negotiations.
No, this isn't the one. Hoekstra talked about the alcohol situation. Let me put this up. Perhaps it'll come up here. Yeah, this is where he says it. Have a listen to this.
But if you need some, you know, Pete Hoekstra of me.com, send me your order and I'll see that you get some.
Yeah. Well,
I do know Canadians don't have much of a sense of humor, so I'm already in trouble. So they don't understand Dutch humor. Don't feel bad. Most of my family does not, or Diane's family, they don't understand it either. But if you need some.
That's hilarious. There's a lot of people in Ontario, I guess, that didn't have a sense of humor about that one. Or even British Columbia. It's crazy. They have a different thing. Doug Ford, an idiot, a total idiot, doing the, we're having trade conflicts, so we're going to pull all the alcohol that's made in America off the shelves. Well, David Eby did a similar thing. Now, in British Columbia, there are, you do have the ability to sell alcohol outside of the government liquor stores, but there's government distributors that those buyers have to buy it from. So there was a whole bunch of, American whiskey and other products on the shelves for an amount of time because the stores had it still. But once it all sold out, and there's none more coming in. That sucks. Now, but David Eby going one step further and saying, oh, well, if your state voted for Kamala Harris, then we will allow it. We will allow your alcohol. So, deciding based on states, it's crazy. No wonder David Eby has the lowest approval rating that he's ever had. He's like in the 30s. It's crazy. It really is insane. CBC report. I'm not sure what on. Pull the booze off the shelves, then store it for millions of dollars. That's right. It costs millions of dollars for them to store it. And unbelievable. Idiots. Complete idiots. And, Mark Carney. I got this clip here. Oh, I got it in the wrong window. Let me pop it up onto the right window here. Mark Carney, what was this? To anyone wondering why USMCA negotiations aren't going smoothly, look no further than Mark Carney's speech in April of 2025. And this is what he had to say. It's just insane.
Our old relationship with the United States is over.
Idiot.
Our old relationship.
Idiot. You can't, do you think that Americans don't have television? You don't think they have the internet? You don't think they'll see this? And it'll become a problem. Yeah, it'll become a problem, a massive one. Absolutely. This is
the last time we spoke, Jameson, we talked about your work on Canada and Mexico as well. You said you were going to get deeper into the Canadian.
So, by the way, this is Greer. He's also one of the heads in the negotiations.
Canadian trade issues as well. Where do those deals stand? They're bilateral, right? You've got U.S.-Mexico and U.S.-Canada as opposed to USMCA.
Right. You have the USMCA underlying the relationship right now. We've seen a lot of flaws in that. We've seen our deficit go up with both countries over the years that USMCA has been in place, so we're trying to fix the flaws in that program.
Yep.
We're dealing with Mexico on a bilateral basis, Canada on a bilateral basis. I've had a team conducting formal negotiating rounds with Mexico. We were down in Mexico a couple of weeks ago. They're coming here next week. We're talking about how to improve the rules to make sure that if there's a good that's going back and forth across the border between the United States and Mexico and getting some special preferential treatment, that it's actually made in the United States and or Mexico, and it's not just made with a bunch of stuff from China or Vietnam. So we're trying to change those rules, we call them rules of origin, to make sure that people aren't using Mexico as a third country hub. We would expect the same for Canada when we are able to get to some kind of an arrangement with them. Right now they have a different approach to the United States. They have some retaliatory tariffs still in effect, and that makes it a problem for us to negotiate.
Makes it a problem for us to negotiate. So it's like, you can't even get to the table with the United States because the Canadian politicians are idiots. They're absolute idiots. And, you know, retaliatory measures, as in pulling alcohol off the shelves from the thing. So I really I can't stress this enough, right? I'm going to put this up here on terrible beer store. So in case you don't know, this is I mean, it's communism. It's absolutely communism. It's crazy. Open image in a new tab. This is it's communism 101. I mean, Canadians have been living with this for a long time. Maybe some people are so used to it that they don't even see it as what it is. The government runs alcohol sales in the province of Ontario, 100%. In British Columbia, like I said, the government runs the sale of alcohol for some stores, but then they also, you know, there can be cold beer and wine shops, but yet the government's the only one that can distribute the stuff. It's crazy. And I remember this growing up. You go into this big building, and then there's like it's just a little room in the front. The rest of the building is inaccessible to customers, and it just has like a menu of what you can buy, and you ask the guy at the clerk the thing, can I get a case of Canadian? And then he like a old fast food place gets on the little microphone, case of Canadian, please. A set of flaps with a roller system, and it comes out to you. There it is. You pay, and weird. It's just so weird. When you've been to other places that just do it normally, it's just so weird to see this. The alcohol communism that they have in Canada. We should all thank Canada, US, and South America band together. Logic. Yeah, I mean we should all be together, but this is just crazy. That's from John Carpenter's They Live. It is. It is. Al Capone running Canada, lol. Yeah, it's absolutely absurd. And when people learn about it, they're like, no, you're exaggerating. I'm not freaking exaggerating. You go to these places, it's a government-run dump of a place. So efficient, right? Sam, is it the same in out in Nova Scotia? I don't remember. I can't remember. I mean, like I was just down in Texas. We're staying at a hotel, and I'm like, oh, I want to get a drink. So we're like, oh, we're already going to the HEB for something else, right? And HEB is just a big grocery store in Texas. Oh yeah, just grab some beers right there. Nova Scotia LC, NSLC. Oh man. Oh, you know what's crazier? Here's how it gets crazier. So the beer store, I don't know if it's like this anymore, but the beer store just sells like almost just beer or whatever bottled stuff. I'm sure you can get more than just beer. You can get your Mike's Hard sugar drink or whatever, and then there would be the LCBO, which is the Liquor Control Board of Ontario shop. But you could buy beer there and stuff, but everything was warm. Everything was warm. Like, yeah, I guess if you're buying a bottle of whiskey or whatever, you don't need a cold bottle of whiskey. But everything was warm. Flats of beer and stuff. It's just unbelievable. I just can't believe it. Not strong recession. That's right. Yeah, but even the micros have prices are set. That's crazy. Yeah, that's so crazy. Amy, yes, they are slowly. What are you replying to? Amy. Where's Amy in the chat? She says South America is turning right. Yes. Yes, they are. I'm excited about it. I love it. Right? Oh, wow. And even Mexico, believe it or not, Scheinbaum's not exactly a right-leaning candidate, but the populace is really moving to the right. I've noticed, especially the young generation. They're done with the narco state stuff. They're done with it. They want to live in a proper country. Glad you're wrong. There's a lot of people that think I'm wrong. That's fine. But the beer store is a communist organization. I'm right about that. There are fridges and LCBOs. Okay, that's changed. Again, it's been like 20 years since I lived in Ontario. More than 20 years. Holy cow, way more than 20. I've been married for 20 years. So, yeah, like 25 years. Yeah, that's right. A new world order. That's Mark Carney. Mark Carney. Amy, no, you're great. You're great. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. The gov sets the price. Thug. I didn't say the government sets the price. No, I said they're the only guys in town. They're the only ones that are allowed to sell it. That's what I said. And if they're the only ones that can sell it, who sets the price? I don't know. I didn't say that, but it's kind of like, the Soviet Union. So Soviet Union had this problem. China under Mao had the same problem. It's the problem of you can't figure out what the price. There's no price mechanism in a communist economy. There is no price mechanism. You can't figure out what to price things for, or as how much to charge people for things, because there's no bidding like you have in a market economy. And in fact, if you can't set the price, then you cannot predict what should be sold in a marketplace at all. And in fact, because of that, you end up with things that people don't want. And you might think it's important, but guess what? Not everybody thinks that these things are important. And this happens all the time. Entrepreneurs, they take guesses at what the consumer wants, and sometimes they lose and they flop. It's a failure because they misjudge what the economy wants, and then they go bust, and then the price goes to zero or near zero, liquidation prices for whatever it is that they're selling, until people get it right. And they figure out, based on the price mechanism and what people are paying for what they're willing to pay, what they're not willing to pay for each item. And this is how entrepreneurs in a marketplace, individual actors, all doing their own selfish little thing for their own selfish reasons, somehow figure out a way to make the things that everybody wants and do it at a reasonable price. If there's too much competition in the market, some people will be really good at it and win in that competition. Other people will be not so good in it, and they'll say, you know what, maybe that wasn't for me, and get into some other market. This is how the market economy works. Socialists will tell you that's evil. And then they'll seize the means of production, make everything more expensive with less options, and watch people starve around them. Who's actually evil in this equation? Think about that. Think about that. I came to a certain point where, I used to dance around this. I used to dance around the idea that, trying to explain this to people, like maybe I'm coming across a little too strong about it. No, you're not strong enough by saying that, socialists are evil people. They're evil. It's an evil thing. Because what do they think? They think that they know better than everybody else, and they should make all your decisions for you. They have no clue the hubris that it takes to come to that conclusion. Instead of just looking at the elegance of how a market economy works and how people making their own determinations on a daily basis for every little thing. It's the purest form of democracy. In that sense, you vote for things that you care about, and you don't even engage in the vote on things you don't care about. And that's a vote in itself. It's a signal to entrepreneurs that are trying to win your business that nothing that I offered this guy ever like. I need to figure it out. It's unbelievable. Socialism is communism. Yes, socialism's communism. The purpose of socialism is communism. It's paraphrasing, but that was a quote from Vladimir Lenin. He said that. The goal of socialism is communism. It's the soft communism to get people into it before you seize their property. And then you demonize the people who want to continue to own property, and you demonize them as they still do in places like North Korea. It's unbelievable. Clyde, you've educated me, but I knew socialists were bad. Yeah, you just don't. Perhaps you don't know some of the evils that they're capable of. That's it. But I have to. It's one of those things, because you have to keep telling people this. You have to repeat it, because the socialists they've been working overtime for the past 60, 70 years to win people over to believe that no, the socialists are the real good people in this. You know, the socialists, they're the good ones. They're the ones, they're looking out for you. They're looking out for you, the little guy. Well, none of them ever are. None of them ever are. Unreal. Michigan, Scott. Thanks for letting me know. Really appreciate that. Watching from Michigan. I think the U.S. audience is growing more and more and more all the time. I think once I start actually broadcasting from the U.S. on a U.S. IP, steady, I think things will even push harder in that direction. Just wait for the 67.5 capital gains tax, which is just, it's absurd. It's absurd. Capital gains. They want to tax everything. They want to tax everything. There's taxes on taxes on taxes. It's incredible. Estate taxes, the death tax. They're taxing money that's already been taxed. They're taxing things that aren't even money, that aren't even liquid assets, which is absolutely just bonkers, especially when you think about, well, just in any case, but especially with farmers. Netherlands capital gains tax is 0. Great. It should be. It should be 0 everywhere. It should all be abolished. Tax our ideas. That's what they do. That's what they do when they tax your sales on your books or the sales on your YouTube videos or anything. Tax your ideas, tax everything. Yeah, capital gains tax. The death tax is just unbelievable. Inheritance tax. If you're a farmer and you have the unfortunate but inevitable thing that happens in every family, your loved ones pass away. Loved ones pass away. You're already dealing with that grief, and then the government comes in and says, "Well, you know what? The assets that are being handed to you are worth X amount because we had our appraisers come in and say it's worth this much. So you owe us in liquid assets, like money, this much money." No. For what? These are all assets that were paid for with tax dollars, like taxed dollars. So taxes have already been deducted. And this isn't some like sale where you're making a lot of money on it or anything like that. You don't want to sell it. You want to keep it. Oh, good night, Sam. Sam's all the way on the East Coast, so it's got to be late. It's got to be late for you, Sam. Have a good night, man. It's great chatting with you. Let's get in touch. Because in Canada, we have no property rights. You're absolutely correct. There is nothing in the Constitution. There's nothing in the Charter of Rights and Freedoms that protects your property. They wanted to pass that down to the provinces so that the provinces can make decisions. And guess what the provinces are doing? They're giving it away to people who are pretending to be Indians. And I'm not joking when I say they're giving it away to people who are pretending to be Indians. There's wow, just the amount, man. And you know that people are pretending to be Indians when they got like blue eyes and the only way you can tell that they're Indians is because they're wearing funny get-ups. It's always the way it goes. It's unreal. Sorry, Canadians, if not now, when? I will also say to the U.S. Sorry, on what? On what? What are we talking about? What happens when? Happy Far Right Friday. Campsites. That's hilarious. I don't even see myself as far right. I mean, I guess whatever. I'm not. It's so funny because I have very much the same viewpoints as Thomas Jefferson or Thomas Paine, Benjamin Franklin. To think that people would be like, oh golly, he believes in inalienable rights. He believes in property rights. What? He believes in no taxation without representation. What? This lunatic on the internet. I can't believe we listen to this guy. Why would we spend our time listening to this guy? Let's get into some more of these clips. There's a clip recently that cracked me up because it was just unbelievable. Oh, first I got to show this clip. Little preface. Canadians in America, and well, the ambassador to Canada and the ambassador to the United States from Canada at this press summit. Let's just call it that. So Wealth Moose putting this on X, saying the Canadian ambassador, they were at the summit talking about these things. Canadian ambassador says Trump and Washington treated him with respect. After all of the smack talking, the Americans they're just respectful people.
My welcome in Washington at every single turn has been warm, constructive, respectful. And that goes to the over 150 members of Congress that I've met so far. That's more than one a day.
We're busy.
With the administration, with industry and labor leaders in the United States, the welcome has been very, very warm. And that actually started in the Oval Office with the president on the 17th of February when my welcome.
Just cordial, just people being cordial. That's exactly what it is. It's just people being cordial. Isn't that awesome? Hayek and Smith, absolutely. Read their works. Adam Smith, one of the pioneers of market economy stuff. Hayek winning Nobel Prize for his work. It's hilarious. Government officials and if you say you went to school for economics, you'd go through your entire bachelor's degree or whatever you end up getting in economics, and guarantee you your professor won't even bring up Hayek. How many other economists have won Nobel Prizes and they don't even bring up Hayek? F.A. Hayek, look him up. Road to Serfdom, fantastic book. It's a must read. I think everyone should read it. Everybody should read it. That is why I love you. What? Are you talking to me? Yeah, maybe somebody else in the chat. Happy Somalia Month. Yeah, I heard about that. They're making it National Somalia Month. Get out of town. Get out of here. Make Somalia Month in Somalia. Make it in Somalia. If you're from Somalia and you're in America or Canada or wherever, you should have the shouldn't even make it a month. You should make it I'm glad I'm out of that shithole we call Somalia. A day, every day. Should be that every day. And if you don't think so, then maybe Somalia is the place for you. Thomas Sowell's great read as well. He's fantastic. I love his interviews as well. He's really well spoken. His books really drive the point home. Fantastic read, every one of them. I've read several of his books. And now he's getting into like social issues and stuff. It's what you can do when you're at Harvard and you're a tenured professor. This is what it is. Yeah, he's absolutely fantastic, and he worked a lot with Milton Friedman of Chicago School, MIT. Worked a lot with him, and Milton Friedman was fantastic. Yeah, they call it the Chicago School in economics. Oh, you still going? You still going? 100% access to the American market means that if we decide to build airplanes, the White House will not be able to obstruct us from selling them in the American market like they just did recently. Well, why wouldn't they if Canada is obstructing everything? You can't even sell cheese in Canada. And people are like, no, you're allowed to. You totally can. And nobody's ever paid the 400% tariff. It's like, yeah, nobody's paid it because it's a barrier to entry. It's nobody's gonna do a 400% tariff. They're not even going to enter the market if that's the environment. Yeah, we get it. It's just crazy. What's this? U.S. deported a Somalian soccer referee today to celebrate Somalia Month. That's really funny. That's really funny, actually. Too funny. Did that actually happen? I gotta look that up. Whoop. Somalian soccer player deported. Somalia World Cup referee Omar Artan returns to whatever. The Trump administration said he was refused entry over links to suspected members of terror organizations. Well, if
what happened has happened, and it is fate. FIFA
fate.
has supported me well, and they have been following my journey closely up to now. I promise you that in the upcoming matches, I will go further and leave a positive mark.
What kind of mark? What kind of mark? I don't know. The first thing that popped in my head was like a stain that goes on the concrete like this after a blast occurs. Ban Somalian World Cup referee returns back to Somalia. He landed in blah, blah, blah. He was barred for links with suspected terror group members. He's received a hero's welcome. That goes to show what kind of connections they have in Somalia. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I hate to say it, but if you're connected to terror, you gotta go. You gotta go, which is not so much the case in Canada. There's a lot of people in Canada that don't have to go. What's that? Khalistan. Am I spelling that right? Khalistan. I'm probably spelling that wrong. These guys, they're actually they are the groups. They are the terrorist group, and they're allowed here in Canada. Did I spell that wrong? Somebody spell it right for me. I'll figure it out. Give me 1 sec, because I totally spelled that wrong. Because there's one scene that I would like to show people, because it's just unreal that this is actually happening in Canada. Yeah, I totally spelled it wrong. What are we doing? They do this regularly too. It's so crazy how regularly they have like these effigies and stuff that they're carrying around with nooses. These guys are crazy. Calisthenics can be seen dragging off effigy of these people from India. Who care? You left India. Leave it behind. Leave it behind. If it's a big deal to you, go back. If it's not a big deal, leave it behind. These are the things you gotta leave it behind. It's so crazy. Come on. Brampton. Calistan and Brampton. Do they show the thing? Yeah, these guys. This is the one. So Brampton float portrays children as, I can't say that word, but they got splody things all over their chest. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be absolutely kidding me. It's crazy that that's even allowable. And was that King Charles on the thing? No, that's some Indian dude. I was gonna say, especially if they had the King of Canada on the dang thing, and then they're just like, oh, okay, no, you can't come to a country and then be like proactively doing terrorism stuff. You just no, that's no, that's a big nope. Can't have it. Absolutely can't have it. No way. New rule. Leave your stupid sectarian quarrels at the border or GTFO. Absolutely. Absolutely. Brampton Banchodes. Oh, that's a bad word in Indian, isn't it? Bad word in some Indian language. Lol, is YouTube censoring Turismo? WTF, man. Yeah, you can't say those words. Oh yeah, you spelled it for me. Thank you for that. Excuse me. Pardon. Hello and good evening from my RV. Hello and good evening. Canadian Spider-Man. We'll see you in the Discord chat later. By the way, if you guys are eager to hang out and you are a Discord member, Discord user, you can hang out in the Discord. Every Friday night, we jump in there, and there's usually a little group chat, and everybody's having a laugh and sharing funny videos and memes and all that goodness. So if you so inclined, join up. It's free. It's free to use. Anybody's welcome, as long as you're cordial. If you're rude, you'll get the boot. But if not, then everybody's good. And we're pretty strict on the if you're rude thing, because like people don't want to come if there's like a bunch of rude people in a Discord chat. So absolutely, everybody's welcome. What we got here? Hit the like button, folks, for more great content and moments. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Yeah, and don't forget, like this, it's very helpful to the channel. And what happens is the way the algorithm works is it looks at what you've been doing on YouTube, what you've been looking at and what you kind of like. And then they measure that against other people that like similar things. And then that's how they make the recommendations. So if you're liking it, it means like, oh, you really like this. So I want other people who like this kind of stuff to see this guy, and then that's how that works. So it's free and it helps out a ton. So just hit that like button, give it a little click, give it a little boop boop, and then everybody's happy. It's very, very helpful, and I'm very, very appreciative if you do that for us. I wanted to get to some more of this stuff that's happening. Oh yeah, there's a clip that we gotta watch just because it's funny. I love Greg Gutfeld on Fox TV. You know, late night TV seems like the good old days are gone. The good old days of Johnny Carson are finished. You know, Johnny Carson famously asked about his politics, and he's like, "I'm a comedian. Why do you care?" Sort of thing. And that used to be the way things were across entertainers. I mean, Elvis even said it. I'm just an entertainer. Why do you care about that? I'm going to just keep that stuff to myself. Late night TV for comedy, you can't avoid the politics anymore. It's just absolutely unavoidable. And so because all the networks are crazy left-wingers, your choices of late night comedy have been pretty limited for a very long time until Greg Gutfeld. So Greg Gutfeld, he's been doing Fox News for a long, long time, doing a bunch of different shows. Whether it's opinion stuff or comedy, and then he got his own show, the Greg Gutfeld Show, and it's kicking the snot out of everybody. By the way, it's kicking the snot out of everybody because it's actually funny. Red Eye was great. Yes, that's right. Yes, Angela Williams. Red Eye was good, but Greg Gutfeld was a regular on that. It was the other guy. I can't remember the guy's name that hosted that one. But then Greg Gutfeld got his own show. And then the other guy now sometimes comes on Greg Gutfeld's show. So it's like the roles got reversed. But Gutfeld's really, really funny. And he did a segment just the other day called What the F is Up with America's Hat. And I just wanted to share this one with you guys. So let's get into that. What the F is up with America's Hat? This is from Elie Chantain-Natal. He's a great journalist in Canada. Go check him out as well. But let's have a look at this video.
Is up with America's hat?
What is up with America's hat?
Canucks lose it over women.
So, before you became chief science advisor, you were a molecular geneticist by training, right? Yeah. So you know a thing or two about X and Y chromosomes. So I wanted to ask you, what is the definition of...
Do you hear the groan already? These people are already groaning.
So you know a thing or two about X and Y chromosomes. So I wanted to ask you...
Oh, we're going to talk about X and Y. Oh, no, biology. This is crazy.
What is the definition of a woman?
Point of order, Chair.
Point of order. Yes, MP Danko.
It is Pride Month, and understanding Order 18, which prohibits personal attacks, insults, and offensive language. The accusation, where this question is going,
this is getting into debate.
Offensive.
Pride Month. I'm tired of hearing of Pride Month. I don't care about Pride Month. The only pride that I think is interesting in any capacity is probably what would it be? Oh, I'm up here. How about this kind of pride? Let's have some national pride. That's the kind of Pride Month I'd get into. I'd be all about it. National pride. Yeah, the West is the best. That is the kind of pride that I could get behind. But other than that, you can go go suck it. That's the crappiest thing. So let's get into this. It's Pride Month. How dare you talk about biology? This is crazy.
MP Danko, this is getting into debate.
I'd ask the member to withdraw his comment.
The census asked that question, what is your gender, what is your sex? So I just want to understand what your view is on this.
It went on for a long time, Kat.
As they do.
Apparently that question is offensive, especially during Pride Month. Biology. Yuck.
Yuck.
I gotta be honest. Normally, I would maybe be frustrated that politicians are talking about this stuff and trying to get clips and trying to score political points. And that's what they were doing with our tax dollars. But it's Canada, so I don't give a
Wow. Ain't that the truth? Like this is like a lot of people just gotta really kind of clue into this because a lot of Canadians, they really don't get it. They really don't get it. Americans, for the most part, don't know much of what's going on in Canada. And when it becomes insufferable, this is one of the most insufferable videos I've seen as a Canadian. What of the Canadian thing? Yeah. When Canadians get insufferable, because we both said the same word at the same time, that's interesting. Or maybe I just saw it on the screen and it made me think. But imagine knowing your tax dollars went to this. Exactly. So when Canadians become insufferable, then Americans are like, they go from, oh, I didn't know about it to, I don't care. I don't care. And especially as they've been learning how just awful Canadians have been over the past little bit, especially with the elbows up crap. People learn about that and they're just like, you know what? Screw you guys. Screw you guys. I thought pride was a sin. Now what people do in their private space is not my business. Absolutely. Absolutely. Pride is one of the 7 deadly sins. But I don't think it's bad to be proud of your country, proud of your neighbors, proud of your city, your state. Be proud of things. Be proud of things. I'm proud of Western civilization. I think it's amazing. I'm not proud of elbows. I think you should never be proud of elbows. The whole point is that you're saying that you're a dirty player and you want to injure people so that you can win unfairly. That's awful. That's absolutely awful. Weird, creepy sex addiction month. Yeah, that's what it is. Booing national anthems at sports events is not a good look. Just saying. No, it's not. It's not a good look. Anyway, let's get back to Greg Gutfeld.
I didn't even know they had a parliament there, Tyrus.
Parliament's a good band. I don't know why you want to put that on them. My favorite. Thank you. Big Parliament crowd tonight. Didn't expect that. Cool. I think my favorite part is when he asked the question, the audience like, oh.
I know. Oh my God.
Like you would have thought he would ask what their secret plan was for Medicaid.
Oh, too funny.
It feels like Canada is like 6 years behind us.
They're just woked out. I mean, they can't win a hockey championship, so what else do you expect from them?
Yeah.
See, this is as much as Americans actually know about what's going on in Canada. They like, that's the last relevant thing to Americans in the mainstream media. That's it. Is that Canada didn't win against America. Now, Canadians would be like, oh, they're dwelling on that. It's like, no, it's just the last thing I ever heard about you guys. I don't know anything about you. I don't care. It's the way it is. Watching from Belize. Oh, awesome. Welcome. Another person from Belize. Belize is an amazing place. Lots of people heading on down there from Canada because it's another place to breathe free.
I have nothing to add to that since I know nothing about sports, Brianna. But it is interesting that in some areas, like biology is still considered offensive.
I like how you say still considered offensive as if it ever was considered offensive up until 6 years ago. And it's just interesting because, for decades, feminists are like, you can't tell me what a woman is. If a woman wants to not shave her legs, she's still a woman. If a woman wants to be Hillary Clinton, wear a pantsuit, still a woman, dress, whatever. No man could tell a woman.
I love that. She doesn't want to shave her legs. She's still a woman. And there's a lot of dudes who are like, you're right, but wants to wear a pantsuit like Hillary Clinton, still a woman, nasty woman, but that's
woman, what defines womanhood? And yet here we are having mentally ill men define what a woman is, because women, this biologist, she was a female, was not allowed to give her answer without people jumping in to defend mentally ill men and mentally ill men because they want to define it. That is so the epitome of mansplaining if I've ever heard one.
Yeah.
And all these feminists that are like, no, I like this. Keep going.
Yeah, it's mansplaining and drag.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mansplaining and drag. But it's the lowest common denominator is what it is. You're gonna cater to the cry bullies because you've learned to avoid conflict. You've learned to avoid it to the detriment of not only yourself but your society as a whole. And so cry bullies will take advantage of you. And this is why we all have to buck up and start saying no to people. You just got to start saying no. I'm not going to put up with it. I don't care what you want to do with your life. You go ahead and do it, but don't tell me I have to like condone it. I don't have to condone it. I don't have to play your games. I don't have to call you the words that you want to be called. And I'm not going to do it. You're not going to compel me to do it. In Canada, there's actually like speech laws that can compel you. It's crazy. You can be compelled to say words. That's against the First Amendment. It's against the whole idea of freedom of expression. But yet in Canada, that's the kind of crap that's going on. It's really nuts. But it's all about the fact that people have just been afraid to just say no. No, I'm not going to play your game. I'm not going to call you your special words. I'm not going to cast a spell over you every time to make you feel good. Feel good. If you want to feel good, feel good. You don't need me in that equation at all. I'm just another citizen in the country. I'm just another person. I'm not part of your equation. That's it. What's this? Clyde compel me. No, compel. In Canada, you have legalized transplaining. Yeah, can't hurt their little feelings. You can't hurt their little feelings, or else they'll come and they'll bug you more. And guess what? Get used to it. Get used to it. Like, obviously, a lot of these people would be crappy parents, because like when you're a dad or a mom, you gotta learn how to say no, or else you're not gonna raise your kids right. You gotta learn how to say no to them. You gotta learn how to say no to other people. And when they come and say, "Oh, I want you have to do this," we're gonna I get to, a man comes up and says, I'm gonna change my clothing and get naked in a change room with your daughter present in that room. No. Nope. And I'm not gonna budge on that. Not gonna happen. Because yeah, there's a lot of weirdos, mentally ill, as she said, mentally ill men. Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's very sexy, Joe. What was your take on this? It never goes away, does it?
And it even got more confusing, because then he asked, "What's a man?" and held up a picture of Justin Trudeau, and everybody got very confused by that. Well, it is weird for people who can't tell you what a woman is, get very bitchy when the question comes up. But the part I like best was that I didn't realize that Mr. Ho's full name is Vincent Neil Ho, like Vince Neil from Motley Crue.
Oh, wow.
So he missed an opportunity to say and introduce some evidence and just start playing the Girls, Girls, Girls video. And
I like that.
That would be a deep cut for him.
It would be. But it shows how, the part that drives me extra crazy about this is that they say a woman is however you define a woman. That's what they say. There's absolutely no criteria for it. And then if you say, well, we define a woman as this they lose their minds. So there's either a definition or there isn't, because when someone has a baby, what's the first question you ask? Is it a boy or a girl? It's an elemental truth.
Yeah. I do think, again, it shows the bifurcation. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Well done, Greg.
Thanks. I talk about the bifurcating world of reality and politics is now an alternative to reality, and it can only exist outside of reality in order to justify these crazy positions. So they get weirder and more defensive every day. Sorry, Canada. I miss the guy with the big boobs. That's what I miss. Bring it back, Canada! The guy with the big boobs! Where is he?
Be sure to
That was Kayla Lemieux, or what the person said that his name was Kayla Lemieux, a teacher from Trafalgar, Ontario, who wore giant prosthetic breasts with big areolas, pointy ones. Yeah, nuts, to school. And I swear, I can't show the picture because I had videos. I had a couple of videos from 3 years ago where I covered the story, and YouTube, somebody flagged those videos as prawn. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So yeah, it really, really did a number to the channel. Caused a lot of troubles. Yeah, Oakville. That's right. What do we have here? From the shift has hit the fan for 5. Hey, look at me. I'm way under here. switch over here. Shift has hit the fan for 5. Says Canadians are polite by choice, not by weakness. History proves that when we're tested, we rise, endure, and fight harder than anyone expects. Yeah, historically. Yeah, absolutely. What happened? What happened to that? Because we're not seeing any enough of that these days. There are some people. yeah, that's right. There are some. If you can't laugh at that, I don't know if you're part. You're not the crowd. You know what I mean? You're not part of this crowd. If you can't get a little chuckle out of that. That's funny. Pressing X to doubt. Yeah, absolutely. Because I think there are some people like that, but there's not a ton. More people are just happy to just, take it. Just govern me harder, daddy. That's the gist of it. And I think enough of the people that want to stand up have been getting out of Canada. And that's the sad part, is as more and more of these events happen, more and more people end up at the point where they tried and it didn't work, and oh well, I know where I can go where people are like-minded, and they move to the United States. That's been happening more and more and more and more frequently, and it's just, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. So it's funny because I shared this one. Let me pop this up on the screen. This was a meme that I shared because, a lot of people say, like, oh, if you don't like it here, well, why don't you get on out of here? Get on out of here. You're low life, you redneck, you this and that. You don't like it, why don't you get on out of here? They don't say it like that. They say it like a smarmy liberal, but I don't know how to do a smarmy liberal accent. But then I put out this tweet. Canadians, if you don't like it here, leave, redneck. Canadians, when all the tradesmen pack up and move to the United States. Yeah, things are gonna be a lot different if that happens. Absolutely. And I made a promise. I did make a promise. I made a promise to my fellow tradesmen. I got your back. I still got your back. And I'm going to do everything in my power to give those that are looking for a way to get out of Canada and move to the United States. I'm looking to work with, state and local municipalities, governments, NGOs, organizations. I'm going to hit the phone hard and try to get a hold of people, even like Mike Rowe and all of this, when I'm down in Texas, because I want to make this a possibility. Canada will end up like California. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And then Canada can worry about that when they get there, because it is what it is. So America has a problem, and we have a unique opportunity here, right? America has a problem. There are not enough tradespeople to fill the job positions. But there is a long-term problem where there's not enough people who are trained today to train the young new generation. And there's a lot of young people that are eager and they would like to be working in the trades. They just don't have mentors. Now, I want to take the current situation and I want to align them so that we can find a viable solution that works for everybody. Maybe not the government of Canada, maybe specific regions of Canada will be drained because those people will be leaving, but that's your fault, government of Canada. You did that to yourself, right? And I've had it where people are like, how dare you steal our talent? Like, how dare you have that mentality that you own these people? You don't own these people. That's it. Yes, maybe it's the institutions within the country that help train them, get things going. But once they've trained, they're free people. They can stay, they can leave if they want. And that's absolutely what I'm giving people an opportunity to do. And I'm going to work my tail off. And I'm sorry if you're an office worker or you're in food or service, some sort of service. I'll do what I can, but I'm focusing on tradespeople first and foremost. That's where my goals are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to make it whatever avenues I have to take so that I can pair people that are experts in their field and move them to the United States and pair them with trainees, apprentices. Get this going, because every technician, for example, an automotive technician can have 3 apprentices at one time at different stages and levels. That's absolutely viable. Now, what the companies in the US would get, they would benefit for, is they would get a worker now. They get somebody who can do the job, absolutely do the job. Then, sorry, I got distracted by the chat. I thought Clyde moved to Texas. All right, it's happening. It's happening. Things take time. So those jobs, they need a worker right away, and the country as a whole needs more in the long run. Each one of these companies is going to need more and more moving forward. So the best way to do this is to align. If you're going to bring people in for a specific job, don't just bring them in to do that job and that's it. Because all you get is now you have a skilled worker who's going to do that work until they retire. And then what? No, we have to pair this with training. It absolutely has to be paired with training. So each person that comes in, they could have up to 3 apprentices. Apprenticeship is 4 years. So if you have 3 apprentices, 1 in first, second, and third year, and then when they graduate, you get in a new first year, and you keep that cycle going. You keep that cycle going, and you could be pumping out after a few years, after only 4 to 5 years, you can be pumping out per trainer, can be pumping out a journeyman technician, a journeyman carpenter, a journeyman plumber every single year. This is absolutely viable. It's something that can be done, and I'm going to work my ass off to make this a possibility, because we're in a unique spot. Now, one of the things that will have to be necessary is it'll have to be a temporary program that has an expiry date on it. So after 10 years, say for example, this program is gone and it's no longer available for Canadians to move to the US on these grounds. And it would have to be, I hate to say it, but Canadian-born tradespeople, because, there have been tons and tons of immigration scams in Canada, and you wouldn't want this program to turn into another immigration scam for those people who've scammed their way into Canada to scam their way into the United States. You want to avoid that at all costs. So I want to tick all the boxes. I want to dot all the I's. I want to cross all the T's, and I want to make sure that this works. I want to make sure that this can work. It can be viable, and it can benefit the lives of millions of people. This would be something that would be amazing. So that's my goal. I really, really want to push towards this, and I'll have a lot more time. I'll have a lot more time when in a very short time. In a very short time, we're not very far away from at least getting the ability to get started on this. So yeah, stay tuned. Keep paying attention, because we're gonna make this happen. We're gonna make stuff go down. I'm really looking forward to it, because I don't see things turning around in Canada anytime soon. We've seen what's happening. Canadians elected Mark Carney thinking that he was going to be this new, more fiscally responsible. He's worse than Trudeau. Like, he's literally By every stretch of the like every definition, he is absolutely worse than Justin Trudeau. Justin Trudeau running crazy deficits. Let's not forget, it was only a year ago, or just over a year ago, where Chrystia Freeland stepped down from her position as finance minister because the budget was over what they projected it was going to be. And what was the budget? It was $40 billion. And then Mark Carney gets in on this election that he's going to fix all of that and he's going to be better and more. They even use the word conservative with the guy. It's crazy. And then what happened? The budget officer, they finally came through with the budget. It was $60 billion, 20 over that, which a minister stepped down over. And then the budget officer says, wow, I did the math and it's not $60 billion. It's closer to $75 billion. All of this while there is a recession in Canada. Oh, it's a technical recession. It's only technical. What makes it technical? They came up with this term, technical recession. How does it become an official recession? Well, we get a committee together and the committee makes a decision to say that it is an official recession. Okay, well, can we get that committee together? Well, we're not going to put that committee together just yet. We don't want. Yeah, you just don't want to call it an official. It's a technical recession. Yeah, exactly. We get it. We get it. We see how that works. But, I mean, you can only pull the wool over people's eyes for so long. And more and more and more and more people are saying they're fed up. They're fed up. They're tired of it. They're tired of waiting. I mean, I waited for over 10 years to get a house because I looked at it and I was like, this is a bubble. This is going to pop. But they kept going up, kept going up, kept going up. I mean, if I had the, hindsight's 2020. If I knew it was going to keep going up, I would have bought in at the time and then just sold in recent times before it started crashing. It's insane. And it's not getting better. They're not correcting the mistakes. They're doubling down on the mistakes, and it's making things worse. So there's a lot of people tired of waiting. Okay, wanted to get this, wanted to go. Want Alberta to be independent. That's what we're going to wait for. We're going to wait to see if Alberta becomes independent. It's not happening soon. That's not happening soon. The referendum turned into a referendum on if they're going to have a referendum in the fall. And believe me, if they vote no on a referendum, it's over. People are hope's gone, done. My guess is they're going to vote yes, that they can have a referendum, and it's just another one to string people on for longer. String people along. Guess what? You at best get 80 to 90 trips around the sun. And people have been waiting too long. And now it's time. They're saying, you know what? I need to do what's right for my family. I need to do what's right for my kin so that they'll have a better opportunity than I've had in this situation here. And so this is why I'm going. I'm leaving. I know a lot of people are quit your crying. Okay. I mean, I'm giving. Okay, yeah, I don't need to justify to that. But yeah, it's kicking the can down the road, stringing people along, see how long they can go. Did you mention Elon being worth more than the GDP of Canada? I did not say it in that sense. That's so funny. No, I didn't say it in that sense. But I did mention a big congratulations to Elon Musk for becoming the first trillionaire. That's hilarious. I love my country. Hold on, that was not. I clicked on the wrong one. I love my country. Yeah. Love your country, but like know when it's Oh, it wasn't aimed at me. Okay, I appreciate it. Are you okay, Clyde? No, I'm absolutely fine. Yeah, no, I'm absolutely fine. I'm just looking at things realistically. America. Yeah, America. America's great. And that's it. And I would encourage people that do make the choice to move to the United States or move to whatever country. Leave the things that made that country that you left behind. So if you like espouse this like socialism, you want to bring in socialized medicine, that kind of crap, just stay in Canada. It's already got it. It's already got it. Part of the reason why it's gone to shit. So yeah, it's already got it. Stick around. Reap the benefits of that. Don't bring that stuff to America. And Americans don't appreciate that. People from Belize won't appreciate you bringing your baggage to the other place. So just like we ask people from India or Somali or whatever place they're from, leave that baggage at the door. Leave that baggage at the door. Embrace the new culture. Embrace the new place that you're in. I know for one, I'm absolutely going to be embracing Texan culture. That's for sure. I've already started and it's great. It's amazing. I'm waiting for the US to do exactly that. Realize there's a whole swarm of young in Canada that would hightail it out of there if given the option or avenue. Those avenues exist. They may be tricky to navigate, and I'm going to be doing what I can to make all of this easier. Absolutely. Clyde, there's a party forming PCC that will be in the next election. Party of the Canadian Constitutionalists. Therefore, a 51st state. No joke. Cool. Not sign me up, but I want to hear more. I want to hear more because I'm still a Canadian citizen. I won't be living in Canada any longer, but I will have the right to vote in federal elections, not provincial or municipal elections. That you kind of give that up when you leave. That's a thing. But federal elections, I can't. Oh well, I don't know. Maybe not provincial elections, because you could still absentee vote for the federal election in the riding that you last resided in. That's how that works. So, yeah, let me know about that, because if I can vote in, I don't. So I have to explain this again, maybe to some people who haven't heard, but the 51st state thing is a joke. It's actually a joke. I really don't want the demographics of Canada at large to be in the voting demographic of the United States of America. I'm not for that. 51st state is kind of a joke, but I think if Canada were to collapse, it wouldn't be outside of the realm of possibilities for the United States to take it on as like a territory or several territories, until those territories can become independent enough or apply for statehood. As you know, Puerto Rico has tried to get statehood a few times. It's been unsuccessful at that, but it's better off as a territory than as a foreign country. So yeah, these are some of the options for Canada. And people would be like, you're out to lunch, man. That's crazy. That wouldn't happen. Why not? Why not? Yeah, there you go. Like Puerto Rico. We'll just call it Coldo Rico. I like that one. Coldo Rico. That's it. But no, I don't want it to be like having another California. Forget it. You guys will see it's no joke. I'm interested. Yeah. Give me info on it. If you're on Twitter or whatever, send me on X, send me info on it. Just tag me. Or if you can send me a DM. I have my DMs open, but there's like another tab and it floods. But yeah, Hopefully I can get that information. That would be good. Donald J. Trump said jokingly, we need it to be the 51st and 52nd so Senate stays balanced. Yeah, that's a joke. But Canada needs to pay its fair share. Honestly, Canada needs to pay its fair share for, national defense. The fact that Canadian boats never get boarded and pirates never take their cargo away, never happens. Is that because they just like Canada? No, it happens because America stops that from happening. Nobody would be so unwise. I'll do that this weekend. Okay, cool. I'm interested. Yeah. Let me know. Let me know. Absolutely. Screw Twitter. Yeah, well, I used to say I go to Twitter so you don't have to. Maybe I should start saying that again. Because yeah, it's a toxic wasteland. It's pretty nasty over there. It is pretty nasty. But I poke the bear all the time. Seriously, I poke the bear quite a bit. I like to put out tweets that get people how would you say? Energized to answer you. All right, whatever. Not quite rage bait, but kind of in the realm of it. Like this one. There's a picture of a hotel chair, and I said, if the world was a hotel, Canada would be the chair in the corner. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. What are some of these other ones? Because I get a lot of people saying like, well, why don't you just leave Canada then? If you don't like it, why don't you just leave? So yeah, there's no pleasing some people. You should leave Canada then. Okay. They're still not happy. Oh, congratulations to Elon Musk. That was that. Yeah, telling Carney to put his money where his mouth is. Absolutely. But yeah, this one, Canada exists at the pleasure of the USA. The healthy thing to do would be to accept this. You may not like it, but accept it. That's the way. You gotta get on that. Yeah, this one. So this is that one we saw earlier. Play it again for other people that weren't in the room.
But if you need some, Pete Hoekstra of me.com, send me your order and I'll see that you get some.
Yeah. Well,
I do know Canadians don't have much of a sense of humor, so I'm already in trouble. So they don't understand Dutch humor. Don't feel bad. Most of my family does not, or Diane's family, they don't understand it either.
They don't understand it. It's funny. And I said, this is hilarious. Canadians actually brag all the time that they have a good sense of humor. They often say, like, we have the best sense of humor. But I found that Canadian humor is actually just a thinly veiled excuse to be a passive-aggressive asshole. Real humor is lost on so many Canadians. It's true. And, like, nothing illustrates the point better than this one clip. Let me pull this up, because it's just... This one makes me cringe all the time. It hurts to watch. I'll find it real quick. I got it. It's so quick. So this clip, this is actually from CBC. This is Colin Mochrie. You might know him from that great American TV show, Whose Line Is It Anyway? Originally it was from Britain, but then they had it in America with Drew Carey. And great show. Fantastic. Lots of fun. But this is the kind of humor that comes out of Canada. It's gross. It's gross. Have a listen to this.
Hello, I'm Anthony St. George here in Washington. On behalf of Canadians everywhere, I'd like to offer an apology to the United States of America. We haven't been getting along very well recently, and for that, I am truly sorry.
It's funny because this is like, how old is this damn thing? And it's like, we haven't been getting along very well lately. Why is it that Canada can't get along with America at all? lately. It seems to keep happening. And Americans are just like, what? We don't even know what the heck's going on. But then this stuff airs in Canada, and Canadians are like, we're so highbrow. Listen to this. Listen to what he has to say.
I'm sorry we called George Bush a moron. He is a moron, but it wasn't nice of us to point it out. If it's any consolation, the fact that he's a moron shouldn't reflect poorly on the people of America. After all, it's not like you actually elected him. I'm sorry about our softwood lumber.
Now, he's allowed to make that joke, and lefties are allowed to make those jokes, but if you said that the other way around when Donald Trump clearly won the election against Joe Biden, then you get your YouTube channel taken away at one point. You get restricted, and you get called a conspiracy theorist. But he can say this crap.
Just because we have more trees than you doesn't give us that's cheaper and better than your own. It would be like if, well, say you have 10 times the television audience we do, and you flood our market with great shows cheaper than we could produce.
Better shows.
I know you'd never do that. I'm sorry.
And it's crazy because like Americans aren't trying to flood the airwaves. Canadians are just, I'm sorry, but you decided to live on the border as if you're a kid at a candy store, pressing your face against the glass going, oh my God, how good would it be to be in there? You know, like that's, if Canada was this like big vast country that everybody talks about, you wouldn't all live within 100 miles of the border. It's crazy. And yeah, Canada is influenced by America, and the culture is virtually identical. Sorry you can't make good programs, TV shows.
Sorry we beat you in Olympic hockey. In our defense, I guess our excuse would be that our team was much, 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 much better than yours. As a way of apology, please accept all of our Canadian NHL teams, which one by one are going out of business and moving to your fine country.
Wonder why.
I'm sorry about our waffling on Iraq. I mean, when you're going up against a crazed dictator, you want to have your friends by your side. I realize it took more than 2 years before you guys pitched in against Hitler, but that was different. Everyone knew he had weapons. I'm sorry we burnt down your White House during the War of 1812. I see you rebuilt it. It's very nice.
Canadians, this is a thing. Canadians, if you've heard that the Canadians burnt down the White House in 1812, it was in 1814. The war was the War of 1812. It was 1814 when the White House partially burnt down and was saved and then renovated. But it was done by British troops that sailed in from Britain. And went on basically a suicide mission. They got there, they assaulted Washington, and then they went up through Baltimore. I think their leader got assassinated, or he was hit by a sniper, and then everybody else just disbanded. None of them were from Canada or Canadians or ended up as Canadians later. It's not what happened. But it's this crazy passive-aggressive thing that Canadians love to do.
I'm sorry for Alan Thicke, Shania Twain, Celine Dion, Loverboy. That song from Sheriff that ends with a really high-pitched long note. Your beer. I know we have nothing to do with your beer, but we feel your pain.
Canadian beer sucks too. I mean, like, there's good beer, there's bad beer. That's another myth, that American beer sucks and is weak, because some people like to drink light beer. Because listen, if you live in a hot place, you probably don't want 5% beers going down while you're at the golf course. Some people like to drink light beer. It's reasonable. But this myth about American beer is bad, that's another crazy thing. It's unbelievable.
And finally, on behalf of all Canadians, I'm sorry that we're constantly apologizing for things in a passive-aggressive way, which is really a thinly veiled criticism. I sincerely hope that you're not upset over this, because we've seen what you do to countries you get upset with. For 22 minutes, I'm Anthony St. George, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. So this is why a lot of Americans are waking up to just the attitude of Canadians. And what used to be this attitude that like, oh wow, they're such nice people, whatever, blah blah blah. People are starting to look and go, passive aggressive, speak out of two sides of their mouth. They'll talk to you one way, but then they'll talk a different way when you're with somebody else. Like, this is the new image of Canadians, and that sucks. That absolutely sucks. The old days of sewing a Canadian patch on your backpack as a proud thing. Canadians still do that, but people see it and they're like, "Oh, stay away from that guy. He doesn't tip good and he's passive aggressive." It sucks. It sucks. It's the reality. Unbelievable. But that's where we're at. Now, Canada they say all these things in Canada, the government officials, all these people. And then again, both sides of their mouth. Maybe move the what? Remind me later. Why are you giving me messages? Google, Chrome. So they speak out of both sides of their mouth. Here's another perfect example of that. This is Dominic LeBlanc. Thank you, RMC86. The Liberals complete 180 in America. Trade negotiations astonishing. LeBlanc today, President Trump ran an election in a campaign to impose tariffs. He won convincingly. Listen to what he has to say. Excuse me.
President Trump ran an election campaign to impose tariffs. He won convincingly. And he's implementing the agenda that he told Americans he would if he was elected. So I'm always surprised when people are shocked that politicians keep their promises.
This is not what they say on TV and stuff. They're like, Donald Trump is so unpredictable. He never says what he's doing. He never this or that. And it's like, it's insane. It's insane. How and then here he is in America, and he's like, yeah, Donald Trump, it's amazing because he actually keeps his promises. He says all the things, he said time and time again, all the things that he's going to do. That's just incredible. Incredible. Money for charity. I know who that is. Money for charity. Oh, way down here. With a $50 super chat. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Thank you. With the beers. Cheers. HTFU, Clyde. Canada needs you in Texas. What does HTFU mean? I don't know. I've never heard that one. Oh, hurry the... I gotcha. Yeah, Canada needs you in Texas. That's true. Canada's better off having me in Texas. Both sides of the aisle agree with you on that one. As for beer from America being bad, LOL, Shiner, Modelo, Miller, Coors, GMAFB, Labatt's is all Canada has. Canada has some... Labatt's is all Canada has. Canada has become the land of elbow chewers, and they embrace it. Absolutely. How many people in Canada are buying American beers anyway? Half the people I know, they're always drinking, Coors or Miller, Modelo, lots of that stuff. One you can't get in Canada is Yingling. A lot of people in America love that. Modelo is Mexican originally. That's true. That is true. Absolutely. But money for charity. Thank you so much, David. I got to get you back on the show. You know, so many people have been bringing it up that, it was that time you and Tiana were on the show. It was like the funniest show we ever did. So we got to make that happen again. That was lots of fun. And we'll talk more about the ins and outs of being from one country and moving to the other, because it's huge. Back to this guy. I can't believe it. I can't believe LeBlanc. I guess I can. Again, it's the speaking out of both sides of your mouth. BS. Oh, this caught my eye. America can't wait for a good family like Clyde's. That got me in the feels. Thank you. Thank you. Really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Sidetrack. Dominic LeBlanc surprised, or not surprised, that Donald Trump is just living up to his campaign promises and saying that he doesn't understand why people are so surprised that he's doing what he's doing. Right? It's crazy. Yuengling is the only beer. Okay. Isn't it like the oldest brewer in America? It's a big one. Let's have a listen to what else he has to say.
Like there's, oh my God, he's doing what? So our job is not to get destabilized by this. Our job is to work in Canada's economic interest, accepting, as Mr. Carney said, that President Trump is going to proceed in this direction. You're right, President Trump is an experienced negotiator. He has a style that's unique to a category of one.
And he's successful at it as well. Like, he's very successful, and negotiations actually go rather swimmingly and quickly rather than taking months or years, except with the Canadians, because they're just it's idiotic. And I think Canada being released of the USMCA or having the USMCA terminated is the best. It's the best deal. It's not going to be that great for Canadians, but the sooner Canada wakes up and then drops the trade barriers and then moves on and retools their economy and becomes closer with the United States instead of further, and stops wedding with China and stops allowing the production of awful chemicals that end up on the streets all over the world, killing people with the cartels, the Mexican cartels and the Chinese triads. Like, all of this stuff that's happening in Canada is just unbelievable. And it's all happening under the noses of everyday Canadian citizens. And you tell them about it, and they look at you with a blank stare, like you're just talking another language. It's crazy, because the propaganda in Canada is better than anywhere else. It's unreal. It's better than North Korea. The North Koreans would blush at this. What am I seeing here? Dave sending me pics of red and white and blue. What? Popsicle? What the heck is that? Red, white, and blue pop with Tito's. Can you even see that, folks? That's hilarious. It's like oh man. I gotta have you over. David. Gotta have you over. As soon as we get our things all set up. We're having dinner together. 2 families. Man, get sidetracked so easily. Let's get back to Dominic LeBlanc.
It's fine. Harder. Yeah, I have no illusions that we're going to get an apology for...
You should have no illusions that this trade negotiation is going to go well for you. And you should have no illusions that your job as a politician really hinges on this. And I know you're buying time with all of this crap. And right now, as long as everybody thinks Orange Man bad, and that's why, when all the other countries that are doing deals with Donald Trump start doing well, and Canada sinks even further, at some point people will wake up to this. Unless they're, I mean, the propaganda, I guess, it is working. It works so well. Like, here's how you... I can't put this in any better way except to describe $1.6 billion of taxpayer money goes to the state-run media in Canada. Now let's see what that looks like in proportion to the United States of America. There's no state-run media in, you might say NPR or whatever, PBS. But imagine if there was a state-run media that was at the top of the media cycle. So, you know, more views than CNN or Fox or any of that other stuff. They're at the very top echelon. And they got, because the demographics of Canada versus America is 10-1. So imagine the U.S. federal government having a propaganda wing that gets paid to the tune of $16 billion a year to run propaganda against the citizens of the United States of America. Do you think people would be like, oh yeah, that's totally normal? That's literally an American scaled version of what CBC is in Canada. Imagine that, $16 billion operating budget for a propaganda outlet to propagandize the American people. That would be insane. People would be, I mean, guns would be coming out. that would be something else. But the Canadian people, with 40 million people, are fine with the propaganda outlet being funded for just operations to the tune of $1.6 billion. It's unbelievable. Unfreaking real. Yeah, it's Pravda. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Pravda. Oh, it's unreal. Just can't believe it. Just can't believe it. 100% Winiska. What did Winiska say? NBC, CBS, MSN Now, or MS Now, are all propaganda paid leftist news. Yes, but not from your tax dollars. That's the difference. They are paid, but they're privately paid propaganda outlets. That's the major difference. Like, imagine if there were if NP or MSNBC or whatever was barely made any money privately, but made $16 billion. Their annual budget were $16 billion. That would be the equivalent from tax dollars. Unbelievable. All right, let's get through this video.
You heard it here first. No, but Christopher, and you're right. I've said this to Secretary Lutnick, to Ambassador Greer, Ambassador Hoekstra, and I have chatted about this. American political leaders will prosecute their domestic American politics in the way they choose. Canada should not be emotionally vested in how American politicians speak to American voters.
Oh, I don't even know what to say. Apparently, I'm a left-wing shell. Yeah, totally left-wing. That's awesome. Canada of 1812 is nothing like the current Canada. No, it's not. And in fact, I've been learning a lot about the history of that because some things sparked. Because Mark Carney had the Isaac Brock action figure on his desk, which is, I mean, whatever if you have that, but like, it's asinine to bring it up in a speech talking about U.S. trade relations, to bring in the guy who was like a general during the War of 1812. It's crazy. It actually inspired the little figure that I have on my desk. See, I have this, I have an F-35 on my desk, and it reminds me every day that Canada can't shoot a freaking balloon out of the sky without America. So that's the Canada of today and not the Canada of 1812. I'm living in current year where America always saves the day, not old British loyalists from 1812, by the way. I mean, and how did Sir Isaac Brock get stationed in Canada in the first place? What did he do wrong? He was of the aristocracy in Britain, and then suddenly he found himself in one of the colonies, which was sparsely populated at the time, and it was that's a BS post. And and a sharpshooter took him out in his first battle. I mean, like, how did he get? He got sirred, or he got knighted for that. Now, what people don't know about the history of the United States and Canada, because Canada was not Canada. It was, they called it Upper and Lower Canada, which is like portions of southwestern Ontario or southern Ontario and Quebec, right? That's all Canada was at the time, Upper and Lower Canada. America was also very small. It was the 13 original colonies in that area. And a lot of people judge what America is today. Like, they look at 1776 and 1812 from the lens of like the largest military force on the planet. No, it was 13 small colonies of mostly farmers, and they took on the largest military force at the time the world had ever seen. That defeated Napoleon at that time, right? Like, this is crazy. It's insane. So yeah, you look back at those times, and it's amazing because I never saw this clearer until recently when I started looking into the history again. I'd heard the Canadian textbook version of what happened in 1812, and it's not what happened. It's not what happened. And in fact, the population, the people in Canada, the demographics and why people were there and who they were was not clear based on what I learned in Canadian school. And as it turns out, so for example, during the War of Independence, so 1776, after that was won by the Americans against the largest military force that the world had ever seen up until that point, farmers, right? Farmers. And what happened was there were loyalists to the crown, loyalists to King George III in America still. And when the war was over and the Constitution was ratified and all of that stuff happened, there was a lot of, says Canada takes a cake as far as a hot mess. Yeah. So what happened was there was a lot of British loyalists still in America at the time. Now, because they just fought a bloody, horrible war with them, anyone who is known as a British loyalist was stripped of the ability to vote, stripped of the ability to hold office. They were combatants. They were not seen as fellow citizens or what have you. They were loyalists to the crown. A lot of them either fought or didn't fight. They just sat around waiting to see which side they were going to play. And those loyalists were basically ostracized in society. So what happened to those loyalists? They left. And did they go back to England? No, they went to the English colonies of Upper and Lower Canada. And that's where they settled. And there was a huge influx, much larger than the actual populations of those areas at the time. So you have to understand, pre-Revolutionary War and post-Revolutionary War, Canada was became a different place entirely. Absolutely different entirely. Large populations of people that resented the Americans and what they did and gaining their independence, but then also resented, on top of that, the fact that they were ostracized from society, moved to Upper and Lower Canada, which would later become Canada, but they sowed the seeds of the culture of that region. And this is what it dawned on me. It actually dawned on me this makes sense. This makes sense why in Western Canada, they don't have the same elbows up sensibilities as Eastern Canada, where that culture began and was bred, and then all of that mentality of we're better than America, blah, 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 which is absolutely not true. America is immeasurably a better place. It's measurably a better place. Better culture, better all of that. But Canadians in Western provinces actually share more in common with their American neighbors than they do with this elbows up crowd. And they be the original, the OG elbows. That's what we should just call them that. Instead, British loyalists, the OG elbows of Upper and Lower Canada. And that's the history of it. It's unbelievable. So yeah, when the War of 1812 broke out, why did the War of 1812 break out even in the first place? What do you read in your history book in Canada? America wanted to take territory from Canada. Canada didn't exist at the time. It was British territories, but that's not why they declared war. They made a declaration of war, and they said the reasons why. There was a few main reasons, but the major reason why was Britain was conducting wars across the world at the time, and a major one was with Napoleon. And so what did the British do? They sailed into American waters, and they were abducting people on fishing boats, commercial liners, cargo ships, American citizens. They were abducting them, putting them in British uniforms, and sending them to fight Napoleon in other places of the world. And what did America do? They said, you better stop this, or we're gonna go to war with you again. And the British said, go to war with us then. So America declared war on England, on Britain. And guess what? Upper and Lower Canada were those territories of Britain. Now, at the end of it, was more land taken? No. At the end of it, did Britain stop abducting American citizens, conscripting them, putting them in uniforms, and sending them off to foreign wars? They absolutely did. They absolutely did stop that. So, if you're to measure who is a victor in a conflict, it's not a measure of did they take land. It's were the demands met at the end of the conflict. And I would say it's an unequivocal yes, the demands of the United States were met after the end of the War of 1812. Are you going to learn about this in a Canadian school? Abso-freaking-lutely not. You won't. You won't. And by the way, the Brits, after the ceasefire was called in the end of 1814, they finally declared a ceasefire. What did they do? They sent another naval ship to go fight in New Orleans, the famous Battle of New Orleans. That was after the ceasefire. The Brits initiated that. And guess what? They got stomped by Lieutenant Andrew Jackson, who later became the president of the United States of America. That's right. That's how things went. That's what went down. And the whole mythos around Canadians being so proud of what went down in 1812 when they know very little of what actually happened just astonishes me. Absolutely. And it's amazing to learn the actual truth of it. Absolutely. It is. Man, I get carried away. I get carried away in these. I love hearing from you guys. It's great. Thank you guys for hanging out. We've already been going for almost 2.5 hours now. So if anybody's interested, would like to go hang out in Discord after the streams on Friday nights. If anybody wants to come on over, one of the moderators will put the link in the chat right there. There it is right there. That's chat. Peter from Edmonton. putting that in there. Discord's another social media platform where there's chat rooms. You can pop in, pop out as you like. It's free to come and go. Just join the server, and then you'll see the chat room. There's gonna be a lot of people in there. A lot of people chatting away, talking about this and that. The only rule is don't be an a-hole. Don't be a d-bag. That's all that people are asking. And if you are, you'll get kicked. But rest assured, other people won't be d-bags or a-holes while you're in there, because we strictly enforce these rules. If you're in there and you want to come in and have some fun and chat with everybody, learn some new things, or just discuss what's going on, that's how we're gonna do that. We're gonna go hang out there after this live stream. So thank you all for joining. Love your history lessons, Clyde. Well, thank you so much. I get so interested in this when people tell me what's going on, and then I'm like, what actually happened there? It's so interesting to find out what actually went down. It's very, very interesting. So join us over on the Discord, and we'll be happy to have you guys. And if we don't see you in there, well, we'll see you Monday morning. We'll be back with another video early morning. And don't forget to check out all the shorts. Tons of shorts on the channel. Lots of things going on. And I have lots to look forward to. And you should all be very excited for what's coming, because I am myself. We'll see you guys all then. And, of course, keep on trucking.